Welcome to the Third Hand. I'm your host, Tucker Ewing, and this is my friend, the incredible Maurice Schwazi. Did I pronounce
Schwaze.
Also known as Jordan. And don't worry, he put his phone on silent, so you don't have to worry about any interruptions.
Yeah, that way my cousin won't call me because he wants to play Halo on the Xbox. That's why. Because he does that like every night.
All right.
He has no friends. He relies on me to play Halo and Battlefield 4, even though I hate Battlefield 4. And he's a sweat. He doesn't know how to take a shower.
All right. It's enough about your sweaty cousin. All right. So, Jordan, or Maurice, whatever you want me to call you, what do you identify as?
I'm non-binary, polyamorous, and slightly suicidal. I don't know.
I identify as an Apache helicopter.
Dude, I want to as well. Can I steal your pronouns and be an Apache helicopter?
Hey, you can have any pronouns that you want, because
Dude,
that's the life that we live in today.
Hell yeah, bro, dude. You know what? Actually, I identify as a a Sasquatch researcher. I am a Sasquatch researcher.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. A Sasquatch biologist?
Yes, a cryptozoologist, if you
There
will.
you go.
I think that's the official term.
All right, so you have me, Tucker, the Apache helicopter, and Maurice over here, also known as Jordan, the cryptozoologist.
That's right.
All right. So, Maurice, the cryptozoologist, tell us a little bit about what this podcast is going to be doing here, the Third Hand. What is it about?
All right, so you know how you have like videos and articles on the internet, right? There are first-hand accounts of what's happening, right? And you have, other YouTube shows and other podcasts like Joe Rogan where they commentate, and that's like a second-hand, description of what's going on. Okay, we are the third hand because we're going to be commentating on people who are commentating on the first hand, so that we are going to be third-hand commentating on stuff. So it's like the game of telephone. You know how like it just gets more and more obscure and confusing and everything? Yeah, that's what this is gonna be.
All right.
Yeah. Don't expect greatness. This is just two friends having a good time. That's all it is.
Don't expect this to be professional quality. Literally, we're sitting in the living room, which is also part of the kitchen of my one-bedroom apartment, playing YouTube videos on my laptop.
And you're going to hear a cat in the background, and I might just start meowing at the cat.
So you identify as a cat, too?
You know what?
You're a furry! And you got a mustache and a beard.
No, I'm not a
furry.
furry.
Are a furry.
No, gosh dang it. Kill me right now. Shoot me. Furry hunting season is open. No. My pronouns are going to change on a whim, just like everyone else's pronouns.
Okay. So hold on. You did bring up a point there before we get to the video. So furry hunting season, what's your opinion on that? Because
it is always open, and it is open to you can use anything you want. Bows, guns, your hands with or without martial arts training, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So, once they allowed people to be furries in open places, I saw a picture one time. This kid, he was petting a furry, and I didn't know it was a furry. So I was petting a dog. I'm like, oh wait, no, that dog is sitting like a dude. Yeah. So once that happened, is like if you were like a furry and you just had the suit and you met up in another shady one-bedroom apartment with other people with furry suits, you know what? It was weird, but you know what? It didn't affect anyone. But now since they have like furry cons and you're doing it in public places where furries, I don't know if this is true, but I hear that furries are defecating in parks and stuff. See, once that happens...
That is true.
Once they act animalistic, they should be treated as animals, and animals are hunted for sport.
That is true. In Portland, Oregon, I know this because I served my mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints up there.
We are religious people.
We are religious people.
We may not hear the most upstanding religious things from me, but, I try my best.
So we are religious people. I serve my mission up there. I pay attention to some of the news coming out of there. It is freaking insane up there.
Everything's decriminalized.
Especially furries pooping and peeing in public spaces. Like, it's ridiculous.
Well, but okay, you can't blame them too much because people are doing that in San Francisco and they're not dressing up like furries.
And so you're saying that at least the furries have an excuse because they identify as an animal.
They identify as an animal. They can act like an animal. The people in San Francisco are just they're just
okay, so,
pull their pants down and go into the street.
So
and they look at you like you're the one that's out of pocket.
Well, because you don't have your pants down and you're not pooping next to
them.
So
what you're saying is that if I go to San Francisco and I see some homeless woman just taking a dump, the only way I can look at her and be justified looking at her is if I pull my pants down and take a dump next to her.
Exactly.
And lock eyes as we both just kind of just, strain a little bit and get it out. Man, I feel like
you're bonding.
We're bonding, and we're kind of getting rid of like these, social norms of that pooping in public is not appropriate.
Hey, that's what the Democrats are all about. Getting rid of those social norms. We all know that. I don't know if the Democrats actually know that.
I don't think they know anything.
They don't really know what they're talking about at all. Like, as soon as you send any form of logic in their general direction, any narrative they come up with crumbles and disintegrates.
It crumbles and they start saying stuff. They start sounding like Biden in a press conference, and they start making up words and not even addressing the fact that they made up a word and just mumbled the sentence. That's how it goes.
It's great. All right, so today on our very first podcast, we are going to be listening to parts of the Ben Shapiro show from the Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro's comments on Biden's State of the Union address.
And then we are going to comment on that. Thus, we are the third hand.
Thus, we are the third hand. All right.
Third hand. The third hand.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. I'm just kidding. Welcome to the third hand. All
I
right.
like how we did another intro.
You're gonna get this a lot. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
There's no professionalism in this at all.
There is not. Please sponsor us.
This podcast is brought to you by Athletic Greens.
This podcast is brought to you by insert ad here.
Ad here, Manscaped. Lawnmower 4.0.
All right. Now to the video. Okay.
If we can make it through it.
Last night, Joe Biden gave his first official State of the Union address. It ran just a little over 70 minutes, and it
lasted 70 minutes?
I mean, really bad. Now, you would expect me to say that, right? But here is the thing. The man can't speak anymore.
Okay.
He's gone. He's completely gone.
That's right.
It was so bad that last night, The Daily Show, Trevor Noah's Daily Show, tweeted out a picture of your phone when it's completely low on charge. That graphic of the little red line at the bottom of the battery symbol, and then the plug that needs to be plugged in. Because he was gone. He just wasn't there. And it turns out that most of our leaders aren't there because they're all really old. And they're kind of decrepit. And they're kind of stupid.
Kind of, bro. They're like 100% stupid,
through
bro.
a crisis. So the speech was discombobulated. It was completely disconnected.
This is where Nancy Pelosi is rubbing her fists together like she's a fly on old food.
About all of his great successes on Twitter.com from all the blue checks who make their living by sucking up to people like Ron Klain. I'm not sure many Americans felt heartened by Joe Biden's speech. What he had to say on Ukraine is probably the best part of his speech. The rest of it was really pretty much just garbage. And again, the big kind of sights and sounds from last night were not flattering to our nation's leadership class. First of all, let me just say this. When it comes to the State of the Union, I've always said I think the State of the Union is a monarchic holdover. It's a garbage institution. There's no reason why we should be doing it. I said this when Trump was president, when Obama was president, and now when Joe Biden is president.
That's interesting. I've never really even listened to a State of the Union address.
Into the legislature.
Even when Trump did it, when it might have been entertaining, I still didn't listen to it.
It's supposed to be the primary brand in the United States.
apparently Nancy Pelosi tore up Biden or Trump's.
Yeah, I saw that.
Address.
She ripped it up right behind him on camera. She's like, I don't like this.
So
hey, so politicians don't like State of the Union addresses either.
So actually, before we get into this, because there's another blunder that I watched a video on TikTok of Nancy Pelosi. So Biden came in, he handed her his State of the Union speech that he had written out in an envelope.
That someone had written out for him, you mean?
Yeah.
Someone else did that.
Basically. And so in this video, she's sitting there looking at the paper, basically seeing where he's at in his speech. And then she goes to flip it over and set it on the front of her desk. And you see her flip it over, and you can see the side of the paper that she was looking at, and it's a blank sheet of paper. There's nothing on it. She just flips it over and sets it down. Nothing on the paper. Like, what the heck?
Wow. I didn't see that.
So if Biden truly wrote that State of the Union, you know what? That is about all that is going on in his mind.
That does make sense. That makes sense that he did write that, because he can't write anything. He's not gonna, and he can't stick to what he would write anyway. He would just ramble off and yeah, wow, this is great.
All right, back to the video.
I always thought it was silly. Not only do I think it's silly, I think it's wildly counterproductive. If ever I were elected president, God forbid, the first thing that I would do during the State of the Union is I would just send a letter to Congress saying the State of the Union is read the news. Go screw yourself. That would be it's so stupid. And by the way, that's what George Washington used to do. He said you just send a letter to Congress informing them on the State of the Union, and that was it. And now it's become this whole long speech we're supposed to pretend to care about. So let's start with Joe Biden not being coherent, because he is not. And if you are a leader on the world stage, say you're Vladimir Putin, or let's say you're Xi Jinping, let's say you're an opposing leader, somebody who looks at the United States and sees the possibility of gain, do you find this man intimidating? Do you think of this human being as somebody who is going to stand up to you? I mean, it doesn't even look like he can stand up at all, let alone
he can't walk upstairs.
Here's just a quick montage of some of Joe Biden's worst flubs last night. And listen, reading a teleprompter badly, it's not a crime. But blowing it as badly as Joe Biden did over and over and over last night, that certainly doesn't look good in the most watched speech that you will give all year long if you're president of the United States. Here was Joe Biden screwing it up multiple times last night.
Speech when he becomes president will be more relaxed.
To keep out a vaccine. The vaccine can stop
even last 5 seconds.
It's time to see the what used to be called the Rust Belt become the home of a significant resurgence of manufacturing. Putin may circle Kyiv with tanks, but he'll never gain the hearts and souls of the Iranians.
Yeah, the Iranian people. Oh my gosh.
Ruble.
The Ruble.
The Uranian right there, where he says
the Iranian ruble, because that's
their.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I totally forgot what I was gonna say. So just keep playing it.
Even Kamala Harris in the background, she softly muttered to herself, Ukrainian. When Kamala Harris is correcting you, and Kamala Harris is no great shakes, as we'll get to later on in the show, then you know that things are going wildly wrong. Meanwhile, who's the rest of our leadership class?
Oh, I know what I was going to say. So, I heard that our good old President Bo Biden, he had, brain surgery. Did you hear that? That's what I heard. This is where I become Jamie from the Joe Rogan Experience, and I'm just going to look it up myself. Did Joe Biden have brain surgery?
Also, I just want to let my listeners know our listeners know that my wife will probably be getting home sometime soon.
So she will be the first guest on our first trial episode of our first ever podcast.
Probably. So, yeah. When you hear someone coming through a door and they have a female voice, it is not a male pretending to be a female that is known as transgenderism. It is my wife.
Tucker's lovely wife. All right, so this says it was during his time as senator that he required surgery for not one, but 2 brain aneurysms. Wow. So he had 2 brain aneurysms and had surgery on it.
Hmm.
So they scrambled his brain like I scrambled eggs this morning. Wow.
How about that?
All right.
That explains a lot. It's
That
like
does.
being dropped on a head when you're a baby,
Yeah.
but when you're older, instead of dropping you on your head because your head's already fully formed, they just go in and they mix it all up.
Yeah, your brain basically quit on you and was like, "Oh, I'm done." And then they had to fix it, but it's just
There wasn't much left to fix.
there wasn't much left to fix. And then he became president of the United States of America, commander-in-chief over nuclear weapons. I'm pretty sure that they don't actually let him. I'm pretty sure they will not let him have access to the nukes. That if Bo Biden is like, we got to nuke Russia, they're gonna just give him one of those like child toys that has like the animal sounds. Like, yes, this is the nuclear weapon system right here, and he's gonna play with that in the corner, and then his cabinet's gonna make the real decisions as what to do. Because I can't see them. Yeah, no.
All right, back to the video.
Sitting just behind Joe Biden. And there was a very odd moment when Joe Biden was talking about burn pits and U.S. soldiers and cancer. And she sort of gets up
the burn pits.
and does something no one
I saw
knows
this video. They had some like news reporter guy. He's over there in the Middle East at a U.S. camp, a U.S. base, and he's at a burn pit. And they are burning. They burn everything, like everything, like their crap, all their toilet waste. They burn it. All this other stuff they confiscate, they burn it. All like this trash, they burn it. And one time, they got a lot of like drugs from like the Taliban or whatever. Don't quote me on this. And they're burning them all.
Our listeners are going to quote you on this.
Quote me on everything you want because I'm not famous. I also hope I never will be. And
unless it's from this show. If we get famous from this show,
don't
awesome.
quote me.
Don't quote him.
I am
don't
not
quote
a reliable source.
Don't quote Maurice, the cryptozoologist.
The cryptozoologist, yes. Anyway, so the army got a bunch of drugs, like hardcore drugs from the terrorists. They somehow got them, and they burned them. And this one reporter, he was high as a kite. He couldn't do the report. He couldn't talk. He'd be like, behind me, he just starts laughing. Like, he couldn't do it. Just so many drugs, different kinds of drugs, a bunch of them. He's just inhaling it because he's literally right next to the burn pit. And yeah, I've heard that with these burn pits, like guys are getting cancer and they're just dying and it's just bad. You think smoking's bad. You see all these stupid ads about how smoking kills. Well, these burn pits are like atrocious. Like, there's a rant for you.
I feel like we're gonna get a lot of rants.
I'm gonna rant.
Is it some sort of signal? What exactly is Nancy Pelosi doing here?
And our troops in Iraq Afghanistan have faced many dangers. One being stationed at bases breathing in toxic smoke from burn pits.
All right. So just to let our listeners know what we're watching right now. Okay, so you have Joe Biden speaking, and then you have Nancy Pelosi. She starts rubbing her knuckles together like she's getting them warmed up. Like she thinks Joe Biden's about to have a heart attack, and she needs to go up and clear his heart and jumpstart him.
Yeah, with those paddles.
And so she starts rubbing her fists together. Not her hands. Not like she's trying to warm up her hands. Closed fists. She starts rubbing them together. Then, as everyone starts clapping, she stands up and does a little dance.
Little shake.
Little dance while still rubbing her fists together. Like she's
a fly rubbing her hands on some pile of crap that you just
like she can't
she's rubbing her hands like her fist like a fly does when it lands on the homeless person's poop that he just defecated in front of
in San Francisco.
Yeah, in San Francisco in front of like the legislature building or whatever. Yeah, that's what she's doing. That's the weirdest thing. Okay, I was looking at Nancy Pelosi. Have you ever seen the show Attack on Titan?
No.
Okay, don't watch it. But they have these weird giant human-looking monster thingies that they look weird. They don't look normal. They're like features are distorted. That's what she looks like. She looks like a Titan from Attack on Titan. That's what she looks like. I just a weird, just jab at Nancy Pelosi right there. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. You're welcome.
All right. I will say this, though. Kudos to Nancy Pelosi for at least still wearing the American flag on her lapel.
She is.
She does. She does have the American flag on her lapel. A lot of people in the State of the Union weren't even wearing American flags. They were all wearing Ukrainian flags. And
Is that because it looks like she has two flags? Is that a Ukrainian and American?
It's a Ukrainian and American.
Ah,
I don't have
okay.
a problem with people wearing a Ukrainian flag. I totally support the people in Ukraine. I'm not going to go fight for them.
Suka bleh.
But I hope they kick Russia's butt. But I'm glad that at least she is wearing an American flag pin. Now put her in a nursing home.
Yeah, props to her though. Yeah, that's good.
So the three people you see up here, we got Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi. Two of the three deserve to be in a nursing home, and one of them deserves to be in prison.
Yeah.
I mean, all three probably deserve to be in prison, but at least the younger one of the three needs to be in prison.
Yeah. I think it's just unfair for Biden to be president. Like, he can't do it, you know? I don't think he knows what's going on. And it's just unfair to him, but, you know.
And it's unfair to all of us who have to suffer through it.
Yeah.
All right, back to the video.
Maybe you've been there.
So, we've got a few choices here. Cocaine-addled squirrel, knitting without knitting needles, wild excitement at burn pits, don't know what she's doing, not sure what Nancy Pelosi thinks she's doing here. So she's the other great leader. She's third in line to the presidency. So, I mean, on that dais, you have the President of the United States, who is no longer with us. You have Kamala Harris, who's the worst politician in modern history.
Yeah.
And you have Nancy Pelosi, who randomly gets up at the sound of burn pits and starts going like this. Things are going, and then out in the audience, you have the Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, who had an awkward moment where Joe Biden was talking about something, and people start booing. And Chuck Schumer thinks that he's supposed to get up and clap, and so we end up with this hilarious hokey pokey.
What?
The American Rescue Plan. The American Rescue Plan.
He got up like he's going to clap. His hands were like this close, and he sat back down. Then he got back up and clapped again. Like what was that? Wait, he's like, no, maybe okay, no, actually, no, I should clap. What the heck was that? Everyone's booing. Like we have to drown out the boos with unnecessary clapping. Oh my gosh! Wow.
But hey, kudos to him. He also is wearing.
He is wearing an American flag. That's good on him. Good on him.
So good on him. You know, these people who
they're not like Obama, where they weren't doing that.
So kudos to these people for at least wearing the American flag. I am happy to say that they at least wore the American flag. That at least brings me a little bit of, I wouldn't say respect, like maybe a drop of respect for them, like
yeah,
a drop, a smidgen, like if there's a small bead of sweat that rolls off your brow and falls, like in Mission Impossible, to set off the alarm, where to set off the alarm in a building where if even someone breathes on the floor, an alarm goes off. That's about the amount of respect that I now have for these people.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Can you tell that I'm alt-right? Is that?
I don't know if that's apparent enough. I mean, we do identify as different things. Like you identify as a cryptozoologist, and I do identify as an Apache helicopter. I feel like that could be confusing to some viewers.
It could be, but so I haven't said that I identify as alt-right, but I wonder if like people would assume that. I want people to know that I completely agree with everything that Joe Biden says, and that I want him to take more of my freedoms so that I can get the what do they say in South Park? The COVID variant plus reward membership program vaccine. That's what I think we should get. I'm in favor of that.
Okay.
I want him to stick me with whatever he wants. I want him to pee and piss in a vial and jab me with it. Yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not all right. I love trees. I hug them.
Hey, I love trees too.
I love trees too.
They're very pretty to look at.
I love America.
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 All right. Video's almost done. Don't worry. Your suffering is almost complete. But we're glad if you've stayed with us for this long.
We have a bunch of
False start.
masochists who listen to this.
5-yard penalty. First down. So good. Gets up, gets down. Gets up, gets down. Man.
Yeah.
Doing the
Bro, have you
shuffle
seen
over
Ben
there.
Shapiro's sister?
Is Chuck Schumer. So this is our
think so.
nation's
Dude, she's
leadership class.
hot.
Things
I
were
know.
just-
I actually...
Bro.
Oh, you know what?
Crime.
I think she works for the Daily Wire, too.
Does she?
I think she does, and she does some of the news things. I've seen a few of her videos on TikTok. Yeah, she's, like, super attractive.
Dude, she's hot, and everyone's talking about her boobs. Which,
What?
Have you not, bro?
Dude, I freaking...
Bro.
Dude, I freaking, like, have a wife, so I don't pay
Oh,
attention to anyone else's boobs other than my
Bro,
wife.
you are a great man, better than me. Ben Shapiro's sister's boobs are amazing.
Well, you're not married, so...
Yeah, okay. Still doesn't mean I'm not going to show you. Look at that. Look at that.
Okay, so she's not the person that I'm thinking of.
Oh, she's not?
No, she's not.
Okay, well, you can see she has, like, the same face, though.
Wow, that is kind of scary. It almost looks like she's a tranny version of Ben Shapiro.
And they put grapefruits on his chest.
Ben Shapiro decided to grow out his hair and put grapefruits on his chest.
Yeah, bro. Dude, what's her name? Abigail Shapiro?
All right.
Yes, please.
Okay, well, we know...
But she is married with children, so I'll have to respect that. I'll never meet her, but you know what? I appreciate her. I appreciate the pictures I see of her.
Oh my gosh, that sounds really bad.
It does sound really bad.
She is fully clothed in all the pictures that he has seen of her, I hope.
Yeah, I'm not going on. Yeah, no. Don't think so little of me, Tucker.
Dude, I gotta like dig you out of the hole that you're digging for yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This whole podcast is gonna be me digging holes and then Tucker filling them back.
I gotta fill in the holes that you dug. The problem is half the time you're gonna be buried in the hole that you dug.
That's right.
And then you're just gonna pop up somewhere else. Like you're gonna dig a hole down and then dig it this way.
I'm gonna tunnel.
You're gonna tunnel under the ground. Well, I'm like filling in that first hole you made, and then you're gonna pop up out of another hole, and then I'm gonna have to go fill that one.
It'll be a never-ending cycle.
And it'll be a never-ending cycle.
Of me constantly trying to cancel myself, and then you being the good friend you are, trying to save me.
Hey, who knows? Maybe. All right, one of two things is going to happen to this show. Either Matt Walsh is going to cancel us in one of his canceled segments, or the left and the squad are going to cancel us because we're just too conservative for them.
I feel like Matt Walsh wouldn't cancel us.
I don't know. He's canceled many of his own viewers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
He has a comment section where they'll play videos for him, or people can comment using videos, or they'll send in comments to it on his show, and then he'll be like, they'll say something that's really funny, and he'll cancel them, and it's really funny.
All right. Well, I hope he cancels me.
So I hope you're listening, Matt Walsh. Please cancel us. It'd be hilarious if you did.
Give us a shout out.
Give us a shout out. It would be a blast. Maybe we could have you be a guest on our podcast.
Yeah, you be a guest on our podcast.
Be a guest on
There's
our
no way
podcast.
we're going on his, but yeah, come on ours.
Come on our podcast. 'Cause, you know.
Our podcast that we have yet to submit.
Ah, man, gotta love it. All right.
Bro, how long is this video? We've been watching.
No, it's almost done.
I know, but like we've been doing like 5 minutes and we're a half hour in. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is great.
This is awesome. You gotta love these podcasts, man.
Oh,
this
hell yeah,
is
dude.
gonna be a fun time. We're all gonna have a fun time here on this podcast. Once or maybe twice a week. We'll see how often we can get it done.
If Maya lets Tucker do it.
All right. So, any other videos or commentary that we should watch?
I would say we should watch some Flash Kiss videos, but I feel like that might not be your speed.
Probably not.
If you're listening to this podcast, go subscribe to Meat Canyon and Flash Kids. I will not tell you anything about it. Just do it. Just do it.
Do it. Thank you for your compliance. Do it, boy, and you'll journey towards the dark side will be complete.
The dark side is a pathway to many abilities some may consider to be unnatural. You know, that's the worst part about the sequel series, about Episode 9 of Star Wars, okay? Because they were so unoriginal that they just killed off Snoke and they just made him like a clone puppet thing that Palpatine made, right? That's the whole explanation. And they brought back Palpatine because they were so unoriginal to create a new character or do anything with Kylo Ren. And the only explanation they gave as to why Palpatine returned is that somehow Palpatine returned. That's it. That's all they gave us.
That's pretty much it, yeah. So I will let our listeners know. So not only will we be doing political commentary as the third hand, we will also be doing commentary on other things such as Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, all great movies.
Any new movies.
Well, some new movies.
Like I went and saw the new Batman movie yesterday. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. But, like, there was, like, 3 or 4 things that I had problems with. And are you going to go see it?
Probably not.
Why not?
Because I'm a purist and I stick to the Christian Bale Dark Knight movies. I don't need my vision of Batman to be tainted by any terrible movies of Batman.
Okay. Well, you know what? You know, every time someone talks about a movie, they say spoiler warning. I'm not going to do that. So.
So I'll say it for him. Spoiler warning.
Okay. Anyway, so, okay. One thing I didn't like about it is that, excuse me, there was a lot of shots of Batman, who is played by the Twilight Boy, which I don't think they should have done. But he didn't do a bad job. He still played the weird, moody person, but it wasn't bad. Yeah. I feel like his suit, it was cool. The chest little bat emblem came out, and it was like a blade, and he can use it for whatever he wants. So that was kind of cool. They just take the on and off, the little bat symbol. One thing, though, that they didn't do good is that Batman would just stand there and slowly look at the camera. And it would take like 10 seconds every time they did that. And they had like 30 of those shots. I mean, they had a lot of just Batman slowly looking at the camera as Gordon is like, we found a clue. And then Batman's like, a lot of it. And you know, it's not like the worst thing. It's just something I noticed. And I thought it was weird. But, you know, the other thing I didn't like is there's a scene where Batman is trying to help a guy who has a bomb strapped to his neck, right? And the chief of police doesn't like that Batman's trying to help him because of poor writing. And so he ends up not saving the guy, but he does help him because he answers riddles that the Riddler is asking anyway. He blows up. Batman gets knocked unconscious. They take Batman to the police station, and they never take off his mask, which I think is interesting. They don't like, oh, look, Batman got knocked out because he was next to this guy who exploded, and he didn't die. But they didn't take off his mask, which I thought was crazy. I feel like the police officer would have been like, oh, look, he's knocked out. And they just went, oh, look, it's the guy from Twilight. But no, they didn't do that. Instead, they just took him to the police station, put him in an interrogating room, on the interrogating room table, and they're like, let's take off his mask. And Gordon's like, don't do it. And he wakes up and starts freaking out because they're trying to take his mask off. And then the chief of police is like, oh, you're in trouble because you tried to help this guy. Anyway, Gordon's like, give me a minute. And he's talking to Batman. He's like, take my keys, punch me in the face, and then get out of here. And so that's what Batman does. And so as Batman goes up the stairwell, he gets on the top of the building. He jumps, right? Mm-hmm. But he's Batman, so he glides. But it's not like the Christian Bale Batman movies where his cape stiffens and he's like a bat going down. His cape like transforms into like a normal wingsuit, you know? Like, I thought that was weird. But, you know, it's whatever. He still glides like Batman. That was cool. But what happens is he's gliding down, he sees a bus driving, and he's going to just kind of land on the bus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he pops his parachute just to, like, barely making time, land on the bus. But the bus is going underneath the bridge. His parachute catches the bridge. He biffs it. He hits the side of the bus, and then he hits the ground, and he falls down again. He hits the ground. He rolls around, and he takes a massive fall. Like, he should die. And he, like, gets up. Like, he gets up like he's hurt, right? He's like, And then it cuts to him, like, next to the bat signal with Gordon and talking like it's fine. Like, okay, hold on. You can't just do that. He almost died. You have to show us, like, some recovery period of him, like, getting that fake bandage wrapped around his chest or something, like you see in all those cliche movies, because that doesn't do anything. They should have shown us something, because that was a hard hit that he took. He just I don't know. That was one gripe I had, and then the rest of it was with Catwoman. Not because she was black. Catwoman was played by a black person before us, whatever, and she did a pretty good job as Catwoman. I feel like what she did was true to the character, except for the fact that she was bi. That felt forced. It didn't feel natural.
Well, that's because any of that crap is not natural.
No, it's not. No.
It's just a mental disorder that people have, and I know I'm gonna get flagged for that because people are gonna be like, "Oh,
hey, I'm the one who digs holes, man. You can't be digging holes. How do you fill up my holes if you're in a hole yourself, man?"
Because I'm just digging down next to you. I'm just gonna tunnel under the dirt between us, and we'll just have a hole together.
Yeah, we'll share a nice wormhole. No, yeah, that sounds great. Anyway, the other thing I didn't like about Catwoman...
Man, if we're going to be busy digging holes, maybe we should just go dig holes in Ukraine and stop the tanks that are rolling
Yeah,
in.
there you go. That's right. Anyway, the one thing I didn't like about Catwoman is that she talked about, like, these rich, white, privileged guys. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I literally groaned in the theater out loud when she said that. These rich, white, privileged guys, meh, meh, meh. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I realized at that moment, that's why she's black. They were like, okay, we're going to have Catwoman. Okay, but we want her to talk about white privilege. So, but she can't say that she's white, so she has to be black. That's the whole reason why Catwoman is black, in my opinion.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense. I mean, in almost every movie you get these days, you have to have some woke something or other that appeals to the squad and the 6% of the population that is the insane
6%? That's pretty generous. Hey, Maya, do you want to be our first guest on our first ever podcast?
Sure.
It's called... We just came up with it tonight. We decided to call it The Third Hand because we were busy watching videos and making funny comments. So then we decided to make a podcast. Oh,
yeah.
There's the cat.
We need to hear your opinions on very controversial topics.
Uh-oh.
We don't have to, but just
the
say
world,
hi.
The world
just
needs to know. What are your views on abortion?
That is very complicated.
It's not complicated at all.
Okay, it's not really complicated. Basically, if a woman, like, is going to die or there's going to be really major complications if she goes through with having a child, then it's okay.
Okay, you know what? I've never considered that before. That's actually...
Yeah.
I think it's a good point.
Otherwise, if you're pregnant and you'll survive, suck it up. Either do adoption or raise your own kid. Otherwise, like... if it's an absolutely unnecessary, like you were going to die, then I'd say it's okay.
So, but wait, okay, in the event that the mother's gonna die giving birth, is her life worth more than the child's life then? How do you measure the importance of life?
Well, usually, if it's gonna kill the mom, if you if the mom dies, the baby instantly dies. That's how it works. It doesn't stay alive in the mom.
I didn't know that.
So it's either usually you lose the baby or you lose both of them.
Well, that's not how it worked in the movies. I mean, Padme died, but Luke and Leia survived.
Well, but she died of sadness.
She's in the middle of giving birth. That's different.
Oh, yeah, she died afterwards.
Okay, so
say you're, like,
she lost her will to live.
Like, like if the woman is basically due, they can do like a C-section, take the baby out. They both live, hopefully. So it's like usually if there's something wrong with the mom, like the baby's still connected to the mom. So like as soon as she dies, the baby's gone.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
so you're talking about like before the baby is ready to be born.
Okay, sorry.
Like-
I
like a
was
second
I was
trimester
under
thing.
the opinion like the baby's ready to be born. She's in labor. She's gonna die
Well,
if
then
she
they
gives
just do a
birth to the
C-section.
baby.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
Save
Okay.
both of them.
All right.
So, like,
All right,
I'm glad we cleared that.
that's
that
why it's
point up.
complicated.
Okay.
it is complicated.
All
You're right.
I'm glad we cleared that point up because I was a little confused about exactly what the specifics were, but I'm glad we cleared that up. All right, good.
Well, I think it made it very obvious that we don't really know much about childbirth.
maybe it's because
Yeah.
we're both white men and we have white privilege.
We're white privileged and we're racist and biased and misogynistic
and transphobic.
transphobic.
Transphobic,
We believe
yes.
in Sasquatch.
Yes, we
and,
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All these horrible things about
Also,
humanity.
you will hear us comment a lot about Sasquatch as well, and also fishing because that's
Dude, we should do a podcast of us squatching.
dude, that would be awesome,
Bro.
If you want to hear us do a podcast while we're squatching,
It doesn't matter. You're going to hear it
You're
anyway.
gonna
It's
hear it anyway.
happening.
you can like, subscribe, or comment, but you're gonna hear it one way or another.
You can dislike this to oblivion, and we're going to do it just to spite you.
Because you're canceled.
Yeah, if my hardcore views on anything don't get us canceled, my abhorrent Sasquatch calls will. That's right. Well, I don't know. We're at, 40 minutes in? We already discussed a political video.
We've discussed a lot of political stuff, like
Your wife made a guest appearance when she came home from work. We've already talked about Sasquatch and
we've talked about Batman.
Batman and
Star Wars.
We covered a lot.
Yeah,
That's
we
pretty good.
we covered a lot. Yeah,
I feel like this is a good first podcast.
I'm gonna warn every listener out there. We are gonna be all over the place. We'll have like something in mind, like the video that we third commented on, but after that, it's a free for all. Like we could talk about anything. Conversation could go anywhere. And hey, if you guys comment, maybe we'll start responding to some of your comments that we get to.
I don't know if we should, okay? Because Joe Rogan says you should never read the comments, and you know what? I like his thinking.
I like reading the comments because I wanna,
Okay.
my one of my favorite pastimes is pissing off leftists.
Dude, I remember that one time when you went on Facebook and like the University of Utah. Dude, this was hilarious. So University of Utah painted the letter U like a rainbow, and then you made the funny comment. It was hilarious.
So,
Like, what are
okay.
they going to color it for Straight Pride Week?
Yeah. So all right. So to give a little context, so it's Gay Pride Month or week or whatever. It's Gay Pride something or other. They're always pretending to be proud.
Oh, hey, you know how we're talking about how like I turned my phone on silent so my cousin wouldn't call me? He's calling me right now to talk about playing video games. Wow. Look
How
at
about
that. That's hilarious. All right, keep going.
All right,
I'm sorry.
so there's on the University of Utah campus, there's this block U that's like a statue, and it's normally painted just completely red. Well, for Gay Pride, whatever, for Alphabet Soup Week, for Alphabet Soup Week.
Hey, Alphabet Soup doesn't have numbers and symbols, okay? The gays do, all right? So you are being so phobic right now calling it alphabet soup because
Fine, Alphabet Soup and Numbers Week.
and symbols. I'm pretty sure
okay,
there's symbols
sorry,
in there.
and symbols.
Okay,
So
you have to be inclusive, Tucker.
so-
Gosh, dang it.
I know. Sorry,
You're
I'm not.
terrible.
I'm just a terrible person.
Wow.
So they go in and they paint the whole thing a rainbow flag, and so then I make the comment: what are they gonna paint it for Straight Pride Week? And
Which is hilarious
it was really funny. And so then
for sane
everyone
people.
everyone and their dog just started commenting to oblivion on it. All the leftists and their woke friends just got super pissed off because I had the audacity to make a joke
Yeah,
at something that I am very passionate about, which is
the letter U.
the letter U. And so then everyone's like sending me all this hate and crap.
There's like one person who was just like, I don't even know what they said. But they were just so pissed. And there was like a whole thread. And then you called me. which was hilarious. Because, like, I started just talking crap on the comment thread, too. And, like, the weirdest thing is, like, my comments, I can't remember this, like, correctly, but, like, I think they were getting deleted.
They were getting taken
while
down by
while we
Facebook.
were talking.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
I had one of my comments get taken down too.
That was funny. I think I don't know if the original comment got taken down.
It didn't.
No, that's good. But yeah, that was funny. Like you and I were just laughing. Maya was there too. All three of us were just laughing at our comments and the fact that everyone was getting they're just freaking out, and we had a great time. Yeah,
It was a blast.
it was a blast.
Good time. So, one of my favorite pastimes, other than fishing, hiking, camping, and anything else Sasquatch, yeah, all that stuff. My favorite pastime, other than all those things, and watching Lord of the Rings, is
And my shows.
and
Yeah.
Maya's TikTok videos.
No, not my shows.
Oh, those two.
Her shows like
Her TV shows that she likes to watch.
the anime stuff.
Yeah. Other than all that stuff, my favorite thing to do is make fun of the libs, because the libs are clueless, they don't know what they're talking about, and anytime that they try to make fun of you, it's so easy to roast them and destroy any argument that they have.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Tucker said that you watched Demon Slayer. Is that true?
Yes.
Did you watch the second season?
Not yet.
I heard. So my friend told me that most of the second season is stupid because it's just dialogue and talking, and it's at the end where they fight.
They kind of said it was really, 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 really good.
Really?
So, we'll see. I just want to wait till it's in English.
Oh, because I watched like a few episodes of the original, and it's just the fighting that my friend showed me.
Good.
It is entertaining when they fight.
You gotta watch the whole thing.
Okay.
Gotta watch The Promised Neverland.
I don't. What is that?
That's the one I was telling you about.
All-time favorite.
The one with the kids and the monsters and the...
Oh yeah. I feel like there was a movie like a long time ago about vampires that were farming humans for blood.
That
Sorry for the end.
Yeah, that's
That
another
was so good,
anime
too.
one.
No, I'm talking like a live action movie.
Oh,
That was like
it wouldn't shock me if they had a live action.
but it was
of
like a long time ago. Like I was a wee lad.
that. A wee lad.
A wee lad.
All right. Well, I think we've probably
If you don't end it now, it's just gonna spiral into
something else. So we will be back here sometime next week. We don't know when, but we will definitely have another podcast because this was a lot of fun.
This was fun.
We will bring you fresh new content that deserves commentation because we are
And
the third hand.
It also deserves to be canceled.
And it also deserves to be canceled. Or just because it's really funny. We are the third hand. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
I'm Tucker. This is Maurice.
Yeah.
Who identifies as a cryptozoologist. His
And-
name is also Jordan. I identify as an Apache helicopter. Thank you for listening.